Hi, this is Dr. Gale, and I want to give a little bit of an explanation about how to actually cite the graphic images. And a student asked about that, and I went to the video that I have posted, and I realized that that particular video did not show how to cite them, it showed how to locate them, but not necessarily how to cite them. So you can find usable images by not, going through the settings. You can do that. And the sites that are okay to use, there's a lot of free sites out there that just automatically have things, is Flickr, Wikicommon, Pixabay. Those are at least three of the common ones. There's others. Those are the ones I primarily use. I actually primarily use Pixabay. The problem with some of these others is that you really have to pay attention to the watermark on it. And the watermark basically is there because it's copyrighted. So for example, over here, this is from Shutterstock. You can see Shutterstock in here. That means this is copyright protected. And Pixabay has Shutterstock in it, but not all Shutterstock is copyrighted. So you have to be aware of it. If there's this watermark in here, don't use it unless you get permission to use. Now, and it's very easy to get permission to use. Just send an email to the people on the site and ask. The problem is not everyone does that. And so I just recently, actually, for this course, sent in a request for Zoom, which is a video web conferencing, and asked permission to use their Zoom image. And they didn't even know what I was talking about. So I've had to be persistent with that because I won't use it. Instead, I used the Roadrunner because I hadn't heard from them yet. But anyhow, so when you do these searches, like say you have this here, Google Sites. A lot of people think that because it's on Google Sites, it's free. Well, no. That's not true at all. So you click on the image, and then you go to visit. And so that'll take you actually to the page where it is. It's actually on a chemical and physical change web quest. And so if you were to scroll downward, and actually it's hard to see, you can't see it, but I'll tell you what it is here. There is a sign-in area, a recent site, report abuse, and print page. So it doesn't really give you too much information on it. And I see this image a lot of places. So, for this course, I probably wouldn't be too terribly upset about it. I'll show you how to move forward on this. But if you were doing something on the web and you were doing it outside of this classroom, you really want to be careful of your images. I mean, there are lawyers out there now that just concentrate on locating people who are using images without permission. And you don't want to get caught in that. And people say, well, it'll never happen to me. Well, guess again. Because people that are paying anywhere between $10,000 and maybe around $35,000 for the use of images without permission are kicking themselves for having said that. So this is on a website. It's on Google Sites, and it's related to here, but there's no way to contact anyone, and there's no way to know anything about this image. So if I click out of here and I go to a different resource, and I haven't filtered anything. I'm just going on here normally. So let's filter it. Usage rights. So labeled for reuse. Okay. They don't have these things are nice. Oh, here it is. This is what I was looking for earlier. So let's say you decide to use this one. Creative Commons is fine. It is a free site. But this is how you cite it. So you have to click on the image. You don't want to automatically do this. Let me go back here. You don't want to automatically right-click on it and say Save Image, because you want to know specifics about how to cite that image. So you're going to click on there and you're going to go to Visit. And it has that there. So this is how you would do the citation. You would do, first of all, you would look for the name, if there was an author. And there isn't. Usually if it's on Wiki Commons, the original author is this person here, Youngston Nick. So you have to do a little bit of search. So you would do Youngston Nick. And then you go back here, and it is, what date? 2016. So it's 2016. Okay, and then you have to put the name of it. So usually you can find the name that assignment is the name, although assignment is what they called it in here. Now, if you didn't have this information here, you're going to need this anyhow. So you're going to right click on it, Control C. Now you're going to come over here, and I just want to show you something. In here, it tells you what it is, handwriting a assignment. So if you didn't have what I showed you before where it says assignment, you would write handwriting a assignment. And then what you would do is you would do this. But you also have to make sure it is, formatted correctly. Okay, so that's what you do. Now, that's doing that. And even if you, now that's a reference page. In the body of your paper, what you would do, or your assignment, you would say, image retrieved from Creative Commons. And it would be the date you do it. Now, if it was not in Creative Commons and there was no free use to it, and like in my case with Zoom, I would have to say image retrieved, you used with permission by Zoom like that. That is usually how you do that. Now, sometimes they don't have the author here. And if they don't have the author, then what you do is you follow APA. This is all about APA. This is in the manual, actually. Actually, APA has two manuals, both developed at the same time. There is the APA that you know and you all know and love, and there's the electronic one. And not many people know about the electronic one. I know a lot about it because I'm an e-learning instructional designer, and so I use this stuff all the time, and it's imperative that I know how to do it right. So, because I don't want to be charged by an attorney for copyright infringement and have to pay someone $35,000 of my hard-earned money. So, what you would do is you would say Creative Commons dot. You would do the same thing you would do if you went to a website and you didn't see an author's name. You would take the organization, and the organization is usually the website name, and in this case it's in this area before the .com. So then you would do 2000. Well, let's say you didn't know the date. If you didn't know the date, it would be this, and then it would be but you would have the link. The link would be the same. The only thing you wouldn't know is that you wouldn't know this, and you wouldn't necessarily know that. But the same thing would be the same, and you would do that. And that's really, oh, and there's one other thing. This would be italicized. Okay, there's nothing italicized in here, but it is italicized here. Make note, the period comes after this and not before it. So these are probably the only things you're going to ever come up with, those right there. If you were told otherwise by someone else, all I can tell you, I can assure you that you, without a doubt, I will always follow the APA manual. It's not about what Dr. Cossette or Dr. Gale thinks. It's about what APA says. So if you have any questions about that, just let me know.